Hey, this is Todd Jensen. I'm the VP of Marketing at Best Company, and welcome to the Best Company podcast. Our goal is simple on this podcast. We want to give concrete strategies that people can use right now to grow their business with word of mouth marketing or anything else that they're doing. And today we have a great guest here from Colorado. We're speaking with Stephen Weaver. So welcome to the podcast, Stephen. How you doing?
Hey, doing great. Thanks, Todd. Really happy to
Hey.
be here.
It's so good to have you. And Stephen is the founder of Solar Wave, a Colorado-based residential solar installer. And I'd love to jump right in, Stephen, and get to know you a little bit. Tell tell us a little bit about your journey. What brought you to start Solar Wave?
Oh, great. My career in the solar industry is going on about 4 years now. I started back in 2018 and I founded a marketing agency and just so happened to end up with a solar client. And then I ended up with 40 solar clients. I went from helping one and starting to learn the industry in and out and getting really good at solar marketing and sales strategies. Everything from, generating the leads to building out the CRMs that help, communicate with the customers and delivering on the final sales strategy. So I did that for a little bit of time, and then COVID hit, and like a lot of businesses, we were affected. A lot of solar companies out there said, "Hey, we need to chill on ad spend," and so I think we lost like 60% of our business overnight. But it actually turned out to be a pretty good opportunity because I could focus in on a select few clients instead of spreading myself thin over 40 clients. And I eventually got an offer to become a VP of a company out in the Midwest. Grew that company over a 2-year period to become the largest company in Kansas City. And then, just kind of wanted to get back out on my own and come home. This is where I'm from in Colorado, and thought I could start a solar company in a different way. So that's what brought me here, and that's what started Solar Wave.
I love that. What a great story. So what's the big driver for you to take that leap and to go in as a business owner and start a company like this?
Well, I think a big part of it is just seeing an opportunity and seeing a way that it can be done differently than what everybody else is doing it. I never planned to start a solar company when I got into the marketing side of things. But as I learned more and more, I just kind of realized that, hey, there's a big disconnect between how people are marketing, how people are selling solar, and then how people are installing it. And I think, that's kind of what led me into it. Is once I got that full understanding, I'm like, hey, I could do this better.
So through this experience and building and running Solar Wave, what makes you the most proud, Stephen?
Well, I think, delivering a great service and product to a customer makes me really proud, and it's a great product. It's a great industry to be in. I love it. And I think, the way that we approach things in a ethical and transparent way when we're talking about the investment and the financing, having a homeowner that's just generally very, very excited to now be producing their own power on top of their roof at the end of everything and the whole process, that makes me really proud.
That's great. And I noticed when I went to your Best Company profile, something that you emphasized there that really resonated with me was that you're really trying to move away from what's often common in the industry, which is this high pressure sales approach, and you wanted to take a different approach there. Tell me a little bit about that different approach and how you wanted to change that customer experience.
Sure. So from my time in the industry, I realized that most solar companies are putting a large emphasis on the sales side of the business. So they have these 100% paid commission sales reps out there generating new business. And, not only does that have an unnecessary expense to the business and drive the cost of the solar panel system up for the homeowner, but a lot of times it leads to high pressured and sometimes unethical sales strategies. So, I decided that there's got to be a different way to do it. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it, and I'm not saying it's wrong to have commissioned solar reps. There's a lot of people out there that are doing it the right way. But I think that if you take a look at the industry as a whole and you say, hey, solar is going to continue to grow. And if this is going to become the norm eventually for homes and businesses that have the available space to have solar, then, the consumers are going to educate themselves. And when they're looking for a company, they don't need somebody to come to their door and try and pressure them into a sale. And if they could save money by finding a company that doesn't have that, then, I think that's generally where the industry should go. And I think a lot of companies will need to adapt to stay competitive.
That's a powerful 1-2 punch, saying, hey, you can save some money plus removing that high pressure sales approach. How has that been received by people that you talk to and your customers?
Oh, so far, great. I think the homeowners that we end up talking with are the ones that do their research. Because we're not out there door to door, and because we're not really pushing those ads that are like, hey, stop what you're doing. You could go solar for $0 down, or the government's got a new program and they'll pay you to go solar. Those are all the things we're used to seeing in the industry. And I think some homeowners end up going solar on that route, but the people that don't and say, hey, let me just do my own research. Let me reach out to a few companies. When they come across us, they just experience a completely different process. And they really like it. I mean, the feedback we're getting is amazing. We're scaling pretty fast for just launching here in Denver with this business model.
That's fantastic. So it feels like you've really changed that customer experience a bit. How does this sales cycle and them working with you, how does that walk me through what that might look like versus maybe with some other solar company?
Sure. Well, I think the biggest thing right out of the gate is that we don't hold our cards back. A homeowner can reach out to us. They could submit their utility usage, and we will send over our quote. We even list all of our pricing on our website, completely transparent, flat rate pricing. For a long time, the industry's based their pricing for a solar panel system on what the finance payment would be for the homeowner. And as long as that payment is close to what they were already paying in their utility bill, that was how it was all set up. And there's a lot of companies out there, if you call them and say, hey, I want to get a quote for my house, they're like, well, we need to come out. We have to come out in person because we need to check out so. And really that's just their opportunity to get in front of you, get you down on the kitchen counter, hold you hostage and try and get you to sign up right then and there. So that's the biggest thing right out of the gate. They'll experience that from us. And then, through the sales process, we don't pressure them. We're like, hey, here's the information. Here's what this could do for you. Here's the investment potential. If you're interested, we're here for you. We're the experts. We'd love to help you, but we're not going to, tie you down to anything.
That makes a lot of sense. And tell me a little bit about that trust factor, about what you do throughout this process to build trust. You talked about your transparency and your approach. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit more about how you build that trust and how you maintain that trust with your customers.
I think beyond the transparency, it's really just about having a personal connection with everybody we do business with. We're a local company. I'm from here. So it's if you connect with people and you kind of figure out what their actual needs are, and then you consult them and try and, I guess, solve those needs or provide them with a product that they actually do need, and then even advise them against it if they don't need it, you really set yourself apart and you gain that trust. And we're not blowing people up like that sort of thing. So that really helps too, I think, when it's just a personalized connection, like, hey, we could text you if you want info, we're here, but we're not calling you every day trying to get you to set an appointment.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And that seems like an approach that people would resonate with. And what do you do? Because you have this offline trust that you've built with your customers, right? Through this sales process and through that approach. You're a local guy there, right from the Denver area. And And so I could see them really having that connection with SolarWave. How do you take that offline trust and that connection? How do you translate that into an online world where your customers are doing some of this research?
Oh, I mean, if we could do it perfectly, then we would probably be in a way better place than we are. But no, I think a lot of it comes to reviews. That's one of the reasons we partnered up with you guys is to share those experiences that customers have had and are having with us. I think that's big, and I think, if we continue to focus on our customers' experiences and the projects versus like just, hey, here's all the benefits of working with us, or like the sales, like benefits of working with us, then we'll come ahead by building that trust online. But it takes time.
What do you do to get them to actually send a referral your way? So they're not just telling the world, they're telling maybe a specific friend. Is there anything that you do specifically there?
Yeah, we do offer a referral program. So if any of our past customers share a referral with us, there's an avoided marketing expense there. Normally it costs us money to get a new customer, whether that's Google or, online, social media, that sort of thing. So we have a program. We'll incentivize them. We'll pay them on the back end if their referral ends up going solar with us. But other than that, it's just really about that personalized touch, taking the time through the operations process to give these customers a call, explain every step, and maintain that personalized connection with them. So in the end, we could just ask them and say, hey, here's where we are as a business. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Your reviews and your referrals really do change our business and help us grow. And if we've done our job right and delivered a product that these people are happy with, then they're gonna help us out.
I love that. You've used one word that really has stood out that I like a lot, and you've used the word personal several times. That seems to be kind of in your DNA as far as your approach.
Mm-hmm.
Help anyone that is in the Denver area that's considering solar. Help them to get to know you personally, Stephen. What kinds of things do you like to do? So if they're interacting with SolarWave, what can they expect when they talk to Stephen or someone else there on your team?
Oh yeah, I mean, me and our team, we're all Colorado guys, so we love anything to do with the mountains. We know these neighborhoods in and out because we grew up here, so it's pretty easy to relate, even if someone has just moved to the area and those sorts of things. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's really, we're kind of nerds when it comes to solar. So if you want to hear every single detail about how we're going to install the system, the mounts we're using, where everything fits on the side of your house, how it gets connected, I mean, we'll go into detail, and I think people really like that.
That's great. Someone from the Denver area that can actually explain the world of solar, and someone that really geeks out on all the technology and the inner workings of solar. That's a great resource to have. What other things within your company, within your team, do you think stand out that really set you apart from your competitors?
Well, I think beyond what we've touched on is really our focus on the installation side. I think more than just figuring out a business model that's sustainable for the long term, I think focusing on the installation portion, that is really the product, that is the service, right? We're partnering with manufacturers, we're installing their panels and their inverters. We have no interest in producing those ourselves. So really what we do is we deliver that service of installation. And I think as the industry grows and the demand grows, that's going to be the bottleneck. It's really hard to find quality installation teams out there. So, we're focused in on building an apprenticeship program with the state. We're currently looking to get some funding from the state, partner up so that we can help train the next generation of installers to continue this industry and to deliver quality installations.
Oh, that's fascinating that you're actually looking ahead already at the next generation of installers to see if you can, teach people how to do it the right way. What an interesting and thoughtful way to give back to the next generation. And as you look at the future, Stephen, so look into your crystal ball. and look down the road just a little bit, what gets you the most excited?
Well, I think the progress in storage and the continuation of the increasing the efficiency of the panels. I think it's just going to be a norm. I think the grid has been outdated for a very, very long time. We're still using the same grid as we were in the 50s, and we're going through an electrification generation. I mean, just look at the EV goals that we have, forecasted out, and what that's going to mean for the amount of energy that we need to produce. So I think I'm just really, really excited to be a part of this industry. As unplanned as it was 4 years ago, I never would have thought I would be here, but I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen over the next decade.
Well, that's a hopeful look into the future, and that's really exciting. It has been a pleasure to have you on the podcast, Stephen. What you're doing there in Colorado, the type of company you're building, the type of a customer experience that you're crafting for people so that they can go through this. I mean, it's such a big purchase, and to go through it without someone putting a lot of pressure on you, so you feel like you can do it on your own terms. Anything else or any other advice that you'd give to anybody else out there that is looking into solar and something that they might want to consider when making this decision, and why they might consider you?
Yeah, I mean, just I would say do your research. Don't go with the first person you talk to. Reach out to a couple people and then do your own independent research. There's tons of resources out there. And if you come across us, we'd love to, obviously chat with you. But yeah, I think it's just do it the right way. Take a look around.
I love that. And I'm proud to be part of a company that is trying to hand you tools, people like you, companies like you that are trying to do it the right way. Let's give you tools so you can amplify the good experiences that your customers have. That's the most authentic and legitimate way to promote yourself is through the voice of people that have had great experiences with you. And thankful that you would join us on the podcast today. Thank you so much. And thanks for taking the time to and helping us to get to know you a little bit and helping us to get to know Solar Wave. It's been a real pleasure.
Absolutely. Thanks, Todd. Thanks for everything that Best Company is doing.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and stay tuned for more great podcast content as we talk to business owners, as we talk to business leaders, and find concrete tips and strategies that we can utilize right now to grow our business with word of mouth marketing. Thank you.